Hello, the game is 7 Days to Die. One of my top games. I think probably in the top 10 all-time games. It's not the greatest of games out there, but I've put so many hours into this game, I'd be ashamed to say exactly how many. I'm not sure when I started playing this game, but it's currently alpha 19.3. The point of this video is I've come up with a safe base. Some people call them AFK bases. A replacement to the wedge wall from alpha 17, 18 that was nerfed. So in this game, for those of you who are not familiar with this game, I'm going to go ahead and start my save so it loads while I talk. So I created a creative game just to test this stuff out. I'm using nightmare speed because the speed of the zombie has to do with the base, so slower zombies it's more effective on, so I wanted to make sure it was effective on even the fastest zombies. So I've been playing this game for the last few weeks, doing multiplayer. I played mostly online multiplayers, not the solo game or not with a couple friends, although I do play it with my family. I've been playing this online, and I've been building all kinds of bases, and I've been looking for that good, the safest base you can get, because you don't want something to come through in an online world. There's other people active, and they can come through your area into your land claim plot and accidentally get your base smashed into. So my goal for this was simple. Something low resource, something low tech, doesn't need electricity, something you can do on day one was my goal, and I think I came up with it. I'm really excited because I came up with this. Now, I'm not sure if other people have came up with this already, but I did search all over the internet because, I'm just like any other player, right? I don't want to reinvent the wheel, so I searched all over for a replacement to the wedge wall that was nerfed, something that can give you a safe base. And I really didn't find anything great, at least nothing that fit the way I wanted to design my base. Where land claim, you can't, I'm not the only one in the whole world. When you play online, you're with other people, and you have a land claim spot that's 40 by 40 or 41 by 41, so you have limited space that you can build on. So I think I came up with a pretty good system here. It works really well, and I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to make a video. I am planning on making a 7 Days to Die video. I've been getting a lot of clips of my gameplay for the last couple of weeks, so I will have another one coming out soon. But in the meantime, just because I was playing around with this, deciding how I wanted to build my base, I was like, oh man, I gotta put this one out right away. So let me get to it. I'm going to try to explain this, so if you're not a 7 Days to Die player, you never played this game, you kind of understand what's going on. But I also want to try to explain this to the more advanced players, because they're going to be the ones that are looking at this, looking for a solution. Usually the more advanced players are going to be like, yeah, I want something to give me a nice, safe, semi-AFK base, something to replace the walls with. So here's where to start. So there's a lot of information. I've edited this. It looks simple, as you can see, but I've edited this probably 50 times before I came up with this version. Trying different electrical processes, sledge turrets, all kinds of stuff, and I finally came up with a really good solution here. Now, full disclosure, I'm not the one who came up with the gap space to drop zombies. That's been around for a long while. I'm not sure who came up with that, but this overall system, I just developed it today, February 3rd, 2021, and I'm so proud of myself. It's a good feeling when you come up with something yourself, instead of just watching somebody else's video. Not that there's anything wrong with it. That's what I do. I searched for like an hour for a good video, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it myself. I'll figure it out. I'll tweak it out. So anyway, enough pats on my own back. Let me get into this. So where to start? Okay, so I wanted a moat around my base, right? That was my original plan. I want a drawbridge, right? to be my main access, and I want my base to be safe. That's why the drawbridge is here. Because sometimes when you place drawbridges, it changes the AI I've seen before in other alphas. I just wanted to make sure the drawbridge didn't have any effect on the AI of the zombies. So what I did is I wanted a real simple. I don't want a super deep pit. Now you can make this deep so they take fall damage. You can even make this area, like if you cut this little 4x4 block section down here where they fall, you can send them all the way down to the bedrock and just be like, see ya, and never be bothered with them again until you chuck Molotov cocktails down there at them. But what I wanted was a 4 deep, 4 because if it's 3, they can jump on each other's heads and jump out of 3. So multiple zombies can get out of a 3 high gap or pit. At 4, they cannot do that. So 4 is like the minimum safety. So everything's minimum. I did 3 gap. So I did a 3 space gap so they can't jump across. Now obviously spiders can jump across, so you will need some type of wall system. And I'll show you this wall system I like to use for a lot of my base builds in a second. So I did 3 across, 4 deep, and that's kind of where I'm at. So let me kind of destroy some of this so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is a full block, right? You want at least 2 spaces away to be half blocks, which are these. Let me go in and show you the block. So you want half blocks. I will also be using these quarter blocks. Now you can use flagstone. I'm just using concrete because that's what I grabbed when I started doing this. You can build this all on day 1. You can dig out a 4 deep by 3 wide and get flagstone and make flagstone and make this all out of flagstone. It has the same options as concrete. So this is very day 1 doable. Which was kind of important to me. I wanted something simple that didn't require electricity. So we got half blocks here. Let me just smash these out so you can see. I got them placed. So you want to align, so I'd say 5 wide, right? So the width of a drawbridge, basically. To advanced. Really wish it just started on advanced instead of simple. Or at least you have an option to do that. I'm having a hard time seeing where that's at. There we go. So you just want to do the wall, one in the middle, and then at least 2 away from it, because they're going to be falling. They have the potential to fall at this point. For this block, I did these little pyramids, but you can use anything. You can use half blocks like this. What you want to use is negative space. Let me make sure I'm in the right position. You want to use negative space so that they fall, right? So you can use a half block and then put another one on its side, and then that way there's 2 full blocks here, so the zombies see this as a pathway, but they have the ability to fall through that because there's negative space. That's the whole key, right, to this. But this is known. A lot of advanced players are probably like, yeah, duh, I already know about that. But I'm just trying to be thorough here. You can use any block. I prefer the quarter blocks for it. Back to advanced. I prefer the quarter blocks, doing the same method, putting them back to back for negative space. That way it makes it look like a platform. That works. That's fully functional as well. I was just playing around to see if these little diamonds were any more functional. They seem to work about the same, actually maybe even a little worse. It seems like they have multiple points that they can climb on, although they have more negative space. See how they kind of have more negative space, more chance for them to fall on, but they also, I think when they nerfed the wedge, which was a steep incline block, they made it possible that these little wedges have like little steps in them so the zombies can snag onto them, and I think that's how they nerfed it. Anyway, you could use that. The other key thing is this half block here is key. So, and then you want 2 spaces of half blocks here, just like we did. You can do a half block on this one as well if you want. You don't have to. If you don't like it sticking out like that, I just think it matches the trap door up there. So I leave it like that. So let's put the half blocks back. The reason why you want half blocks here is because we're going to try to have them as another fall step fall off here when they make it across. So that's why you want at least 2 spaces. Now again, remember this base is going to be 40 wide. This is just a small representation of what the point of the base is going to be. So the rest of this would all be full blocks going out. So we have negative space here. We have, oh, I gotta put that back or it won't work. I've tried various blocks here. I think this quarter block or half block works the best. You need that there to complete this. Now if you look, this whole thing is a walkway, right? I can put a block. That whole thing is a walkway. It's just got negative space in it. Just want to make that visual. So now they can get across this, right? So I can make it across, but they have a chance to fall. So they have 2 chances to fall, one here and one here. Now, what I'm doing with this pyramid block is we used to use these to knock them down holes by putting them on the side like this. Figures went the wrong way. You'd put them on a side and then put a hole, and then when they try to walk through, they fall. It pushes them into the hole. So I was using that same property of the block to kind of using it so when they come up, they don't hit the hatch as much because their head is hitting that. And then it also kind of pushes them off to the side and makes them fall a little bit more than they normally would. So I think that was the key. That was one of the key changers that I came up with. This block here, let me get inside. This arrow slit block. Let me get God mode on. 1 second. Oops. Sorry, my lobby macro for when I'm playing online. Let's see. DM for debug menu. Get God mode on. There we go. Can move around a little bit better. Let me take collision off. I want to be able to collide. So I put an arrow slit block. You could put any block here really that you want. This top pyramid isn't needed. I just put it there for design. I use the arrow slit just because you want something for them to beat on when they can stand on this block here. They can make it to here and stand there, and they'll beat on your hatch. So you want something, you want a block for them to beat on, right? So you can use anything you want. You can use another pyramid if you want to do that. Put it so it flat sides like that. But I figured the arrow slit would look good, and you can shoot them too. You can shoot through it if you want to, stand here and shoot them. So that's kind of why I did the arrow slit. But you just want something to kind of block off. Now they're going to fall so much, you don't even really need to have this down, but occasionally they can pop through that, even though it's just a single space. So you do want that up. Also, it stops players from getting into your base. So you're going to want that locked, that trapdoor locked, and up to block them from coming in. If you were going to use this as an entrance yourself, you wouldn't want that arrow slit there. You would just put no block there, and or something that you can walk through, like a high bar. But I'm going to have another entrance. So this is going to be my zombie attracting area where they're going to go into a loop. And then I'm going to have either 1 or 2 drawbridges on the other side to let me out of my base is kind of what I'm going to use. So I guess we should get into a demo. I think I've explained what we're doing. So basically what's going to happen... Oh, the ladders. So what's going to happen is the zombies are going to come. If they're coming straight at this path, they have a high chance of making it all the way here. If they're coming from an angle like this, they have a high chance of falling off here. Like this is their first fumble step because we have half blocks here. They try to take a shortcut onto this block and they fall down. So that's a really good first step design that I changed. It makes them fall here. So the longer you have this gap, the more chances. Like if you didn't want a real big base, or you're not playing on a multiplayer server where you're limited on space builds, or the build of your how much space you have to build, you can make this a 10 space gap, and they have a huge chance of falling at that point. You pretty much probably wouldn't even have to worry about it. But I wanted to keep this simple. I wanted to keep this for me, for multiplayer, so you can do all kinds of different build variances on this. It has a lot of potential. So, yeah, they can get through. So this is going to be their first fall, and then they have this pit where they can fall again. And then if they hit here, they can stand on that block. They have to be able to stand on that block, or they won't see it as a valid pathway, and they'll just start beating on your walls. So they'll either beat on your trapdoor, or they'll beat on most likely they'll beat on this. They always want to try to beat on something that's too high before they beat on lower blocks or blocks under them. So they'll be hitting this this block most. But with this pyramid block here, it makes it really uncomfortable when they're standing here. As you can see, it's kind of like, you know, it kind of forces me around. So it makes them really uncomfortable. So most of the time they're going to hit that pyramid block and fall off. And that's why I have that there. Also, it keeps them from jumping. You want something over their head. If you wanted to get really crazy, you could even put another pyramid block out here attached to it, just to make it worse for them, right? So that it's like now they're trying to run through this, and they're hitting all kinds of obstacles. I didn't really need that. I found they kind of punched that block a little bit more than I liked. I don't want to keep repairing blocks and things like that, so I kind of just left it off. I didn't think it was needed. There's other ways to optimize this. One of the ways you could optimize this too is put like a wedge turret. So if you put a pillar, let's use this wet concrete pole, non-centered, and you can put it like, you just want it out. You want it out in a way so they don't jump on it. So like right there, it'd be perfect. So it's attached to this mid block, and then you could put a little puncher on here. It'll place onto that little block, and you can just do like a little puncher. Can't get it. And while you're near the little knocker, that'll knock them off. It's so fun to watch. But you don't need that. That's just an additional layer of protection that you can put on there for when you're at your base, which I will be putting that on my base. They're so simple. They won't take, I don't think they take any wear and tear while they're being used. So that's a great option. No energy needed. You just place them down. So let me show you how it works. Now, mind you, you will have walls, right? They can't jump across, so I don't need them. But let's summon some. So I'm going to summon some nurses. Seem to be the most slippery. I'll summon a couple nurses, have them run straight, so you can kind of see how when they run straight, they have more of a chance. But when they fall, they're going to go up the ladder. Also, you want multiple ladders. You can put one over, like I have one over here as a backup. You can put them all over. That'll keep other players, if they fall into your pit, they have a way out. So it's not a bother to them. Also, having backup options, just in case a zombie freaks out and destroys it or whatever, you have another option. It'll just go over there. But you don't want them on the front wall. You don't want your ladders on the front wall, because this is a trip point right here. So they can come up, and I've seen them fall here. So you're losing out on a trip point if you put them right in the front. But you could put it right here if you wanted to. I would suggest put it off to the side so they come up and potentially fall right here. You want as many opportunities for failure as possible, right? It's like businesses with red tape. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever had dealt with a business that implemented lots of barriers, many opportunities for you to fail before you can get to what you're trying to get to. It's a very common practice. We're just implementing the same. We're being Wall Street right now, and and the zombies are little guys just trying to get a piece of the pie. So yeah, we're just want as many barriers and potential failures for the zombies as possible. The more that they have, the less chance they have to succeed. Very common tactic in life, young children out there watching this. Be aware of it. Keep an eye out. Anyway, enough of that stuff. Let's get on with the gaming. So yeah, let's summon some zombies. I'm going to do them straight, right? So we're already 20 minutes into this video that I want to make quick. Let's do some nurses, because they seem to... Make sure I have my thing off. Okay. Yeah, and my character doesn't normally look like this. Just so you know, I'm playing on a server where you can like make yourself look really weird. My character is a wraith, so it's like hooded. Looks like a Grim Reaper with glowing eyes. But when you're off the modded server, this is what the design looks like. I guess looks really weird. Anyway, yeah, let's summon some zombies, some nurses. All right, just a few to get started, get their attention. So I love that thing, just kicking them off. It's so beautiful. Anyway, they'll fall down. Since they see this is the most easiest valid pathway, they're not going to beat on your walls. Let's get rid of this, because that's too easy. I want to show you how this actually works. Although it's fun watching that turret punch them. So see how they're just falling? Now, one thing I did notice with using these pyramids versus the quarter blocks, they tend to fall more here. They fall a lot here. But with the pyramids, they seem to fall in the second step. And I think the reason why that is because they catch on the how they designed it with the wedge. They catch on that ledge, which allows them to walk up. But then the same thing allows them to walk up, allows them to walk down. So you'll see they kind of walk down, and then when they try to get onto this block, they're too far down and they just fall. So if you use the pyramids, they're going to fall more on this side. If you use the half blocks or the quarter blocks, they're going to fall more on this side and be more successful on this side. Just keep that in mind. But as you can see, they'll just sit here and do this forever and ever and ever. I want to try to redesign this corner in a way where they fall more on this corner. I had it at one point where they were really tripping a lot and falling in the corner before they even got over to here. But as you can see, it's like, this is it. They'll just sit there and do this forever. Now, if you had a deep pit where they took fall damage, even if they took 1 hit point of fall damage, now you're killing a zombie without any resources, right? Like, even an electrical fence wears down over time. Blade traps wear down over time. Everything is designed to wear down over time, so you have to repair it. Are they taking fall damage? Yeah, I think they're even taking fall damage at 4, so eventually they'll die. They'll sit here forever. If I sat here for like an hour, they're going to die. So it's a perfectly good AFK base, I guess. It's really safe, as you can see. It's crazy. Like, let's take that down. I don't even think with that down, they're not even going to be able to really get through. Oh, I took it down and now they're beating on my walls? Why'd you go over to that ladder? Let's put it back up. Now sometimes I go crazy and they'll beat on your walls a little bit. You know, I think that's just the design. And then sometimes they'll just, like, see how she just gave up. She was like, whatever. I think it's because they trip over each other every once in a while. Also, it probably doesn't help that I'm in fly mode, so sometimes I might be leaving the ground and then it'll make them freak out. Yeah, sometimes they just hit the walls for whatever reason. Maybe they land on each other and don't have anywhere else to go, so they'll just start hitting the walls. But once they calculate that they have a valid path to get into you, they'll choose that. They're not really going to be doing a whole lot of damage. They're not going to be sitting there chewing things up. So see how she like gave up. But I think they are taking fall damage, aren't they, occasionally? So if you made a deeper pit, they would fall down it and get hurt a lot more. So the deeper the pit, the better. Take it all the way down to bedrock, I guess, if you want. Now you can enhance this more. Like I said, with the punchy turret, with the wedge turret, you can enhance it. Not the ideal position. That's keeping them off. Not the ideal position for it, but it's, you know, it works. That thing is so funny. You can do electrical fence posts, so it'll actually helps trip them up because it slows them down, it stuns them, and makes them, it kind of snares them, so they kind of fall and snare. But eventually it'll break down. But that's fun. Electric fence posts are fun when you get energy available. You could probably use something like I don't know if they still have barbed wire that'll snare them. But everything takes damage, you know. If you put spikes down here, it takes damage. Nothing's gonna last forever, which is why this method is kind of good. You don't really need anything. You don't need mechanical. You don't need energy. You don't need something that's gonna wear and tear. The only thing that's going to wear and tear is occasionally they're going to punch a block, which isn't that big of a deal. So this could definitely be used as a horde base. I think rather successfully. Like if I was sitting here shooting at them, I could be like, you know, this is my preferred. I like this fencing over bars. A lot of the online servers I use, they have methods of upgrading blocks greater than steel, where they don't have bars. I wouldn't say Darkness Falls is one, but they actually have titanium bars as well as blocks. But some servers that are modded that I like to play on have ways of upgrading the hit points of your blocks that standard like bars just don't compare. So I like to have blocks as my gates, and I just found that this is a really nice way of doing that. You basically just use the, what is this? The pole, not the centered pole. Look, they all died. Look, from fall damage, just 4 block sides, crazy. Yeah, so you just use center pole, put it up in the corner there so it's flush. Key is that it's flush with the wall, so that way when they hit it, they fall. You don't want something that, you don't want to put it at an angle that's not flush. That's it. You just do that, and it looks cool. You can shoot through it, you know. Obviously, if you hit the bar part, it's going to do damage or whatever, but, you know, it gives you a wide range to shoot through, and you can't sneak through this, so it's player safe. It's zombie safe. Zombies aren't going to sneak through it. You might, a crawler might be able to get through the underneath side, so if this was going to be your absolute perimeter, if you weren't doing like a pit, I would suggest putting a solid block and then build up from there. That way to keep crawlers at bay. Sometimes I do that. I'll put like a solid block down, and then these bars on top, and then on the other side I'll put the spike traps or something to kill the crawlers, and then like line it with electric fences. But for a moat pit trap, I think this is really a great way of doing it. It's like you can throw one of these guys or a couple of these guys just for fun, but you don't even need them. So let's summon a bunch and see what happens. That way you guys don't think, well, it only works on nurses. I'm not going to do cops because they're going to spit at me, and obviously my base is just a test base. Let's do some of these guys, some of these guys. I don't want to do a screamer. I don't know. Let's watch this thing punch him. Get down the hole. Get into the hole. As you can see, they just funnel right up. Good times. Let's take this off for a second so you can see it working without it, even though it is fun. So there we go. Working like a champ. And I think the key factors here are this. I think this was the game changer. Putting that little diamond above was really good. And then putting these half blocks in and the ladders on the side so that they come in from the side path instead of coming in straight on. When they come in from the side path, they fall so much. Again, let me try to do this. When I take this pathway, they're going to start attacking my base, but I'll try to get it back up real fast. That's the right one. Get it pre-set up, so that's the right side. So now they're going to start attacking my base because I don't have a valid pathway. So let me get the valid pathway back up. There we go. Valid pathway is back up, boys. Stop attacking my base. Get up here. Attack me. Attack me. Attack me. Hopefully, sometimes if they do too much damage, they'll break through and be like, oh, I want to go this way. But, so, I took the diamond off and see how they're falling more on the front than on the back. So they're falling on this fail point more than this fail point, which is allowing them to now hit the blocks. But I got that designed to kind of push them off the side a little bit. See how she'll fall? So they'll hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then kind of wiggle themselves off. So it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to go with the diamond just because they will hit. They seem to hit this less with the diamond. they fail here a lot more with this, but they fail here even more with the diamond, I think. So I think I'm going to go with the diamond myself, just so they're not banging my base. Also, I think the diamond's going to help when they're running straight on. When they initially, so let's say they initially attack from straight on, they have a high success chance of going over this with a straight on thing. I've hit my base. It seems like also when they start hitting your base, like it's then programmed into their AI or something. They'll start doing it more. So like when I broke that link, it seems like it's in their head now to attack my base a little bit more. Versus if I killed all these and summoned more, it probably would do it less. It's weird. It's weird. Makes me wonder how their AI works. Let's see. Do any damage? A little bit. Let's summon some more here. Let's do it straight on. Doot 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 doot. Over here. Yeah, see how they have a high success when they're running straight on? So that diamond is what's keeping them from hitting that. They kind of wobble off trying to get to it. So yeah, either works. You want to use the quarters or the diamonds, I think are the best from what I've tried. I've tried the little circle balls. They don't seem to work as well as the diamonds or the quarter blocks. But that's it. So you can hook this up however you want. You know, you don't absolutely need that up, but it definitely protects from zombies sneaking in and players sneaking into your base. That's it. Pretty crazy. Yeah, see, there she is. She got across. She's smacking. She'll fall down. See ya. I really like augmenting it. Oh, did I broke that when I took that one down. I really like putting this thing up. So funny. I love that thing. I wish it worked when I wasn't around as well. Oh yeah, so that'll also do damage. So that's a good way, in addition to fall damage, to take them out. And I don't think it... I'm not sure. I have to test and see if it does, if it takes durability loss when it's sitting on its own. I think it might only take durability loss when you're using it as a weapon. That's so funny. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you like this. Again, I'm pretty stoked that I came up with this and it's working so well. It's always cool when you come up with something for your base that works well. But I just wanted to share it because it's working really good, and I think it's a valid replacement in Alpha 19. Hopefully in Alpha 20, if the fun pimps don't get wind of this and nerf it too quick, give us at least one full alpha to play with this before they change it. We got to come up with something else. But yeah, if you liked the video, if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you're looking forward to more 7 Days to Die video, I do plan on having another one coming out. Topic's going to be multiplayer. I think a lot of people in 7 Days to Die play the game by themselves or with a couple of friends. They don't realize there's these dedicated worlds out there, you know, that have these great changes and mods to them, and I just kind of want to go over that and review that. So I've been gathering up some footage so I can make a video. It'll probably take me a while, so a week or two, I don't know. You know, because I do try to enjoy myself while I play and grab content while I'm doing that, so it takes a little bit of time. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.